Now, dito naman tayo sa bearing stress. Diba sa previous video natin na discuss ko na yung concept ng bearing stress, and then it happens when two objects are in contact with each other. So kagaya ng rivet, if you are pulling the plates this way, then merong contact pressure na mabubuo between the bolt or the rivet and also the plate. And then na-discuss na natin yung projected area na gagamitin natin. So simple lang, projected area is just diameter multiplied by the thickness. Bale, instead of considering the stress distribution along the circumference, half the circumference, sinimplify na lang natin. Ginawa na lang natin diameter times thickness. Now, natapos na natin yung discussion para sa axial stress saka shear stress. So, itong problem natin ngayon, combination na ng lahat. Merong bearing stress, merong shear stress, saka axial stress. So, yung diameter daw ng rivet na nagjo-join ng plate is 20 mm. And the working stresses are 120 MPa for bearing in the plate, 60 MPa for shear naman in the rivet, and 150 MPa for tensile stress in the plate. Determine the minimum safe thickness of each plate. So, sa problem na to, dalawa yung areas na mag-involve ng thickness. Merong tensile, meron ding bearing. So, dalawang thickness yung masosolve mo, and then just pick the larger thickness kasi yun yung mag-govern. The larger the thickness kasi, mas safe yung plate natin. Hindi siya mag-fail. So, sulat natin yung given. The diameter is equal to 20 mm. Tapos, for bearing, sigma B, sigma boy daw. Ayan. This is 120 MPa. Tapos, for shear naman, in the rivet, symbol natin is tau. 60 MPa. Ayan. Then, for the tensile stress in the plate, sigma T na lang. This is 150 MPa. Ayan. Now, thickness yung tinatanong. So, essentially, if you want to form the equation para sa bearing stress, you would notice na meron kang unknown. Diba? Dalawang unknowns, essentially. Hindi pa kasi binigay yung P. So, for bearing stress, our allowable is 120 MPa. Working stress pala. And then equals force, then divided by the area. So, area natin, dalawang bolts. Yung bearing area kasi, imumultiply natin sa number of bolts. Kasi meron kang contact area dyan, sa portion na to. Ayan, dito rin. If you are considering the top side of the plate. So, kapag dalawang bearing forces yung madedevelop, parang ganito yan. Let's say, PB, ito rin, PB, for the second bolt, meron ka ng dalawang PB or dalawang bearing areas essentially. So generalize na lang natin, number of bolts yan, then multiplied by the projected area which is diameter times thickness lang. D times T. Ayan. So 120 MPa is equal to P, and then the number of bolts, merong dalawang bolts dyan. So 2 times diameter. The diameter is 20 mm. And then our thickness is still unknown. So meron kang unknown na P, meron ding unknown na T. So yung P, makukuha natin sa stress na binigay, which doesn't involve the thickness. Kasi wala pa kasing thickness na binigay. Now, alin dyan yung hindi mag-i-involve ng thickness? Diba, I hope agree lang, yung shear area, it doesn't involve the thickness. Diba? Since yung shear area kasi, ito kasi yan. We make a cutting plane sa junction point ng dalawang plates. Ayan. Tapos meron tayong resisting shear forces na madadevelop. If we are to consider the bottom part of the plate, and then ito yung cut natin, ito yung shear forces. Dalawa sila. since dalawang bolts. Ayan. Tapos yung connection natin is in single shear lang. Kasi isang cutting plane lang yung nagawa natin. Kapag dalawa na yung cutting planes, magiging double shear na siya, tapos i-multiply mo by 2 yung shear area. Essentially, if double shear yan, dalawang bolts, then multiplied by 2 to account for double shear. But since single shear lang, just multiply the shear area by the number of bolts. So, based on shear stress. So, for shear stress, 60 MPa yung working stress. And then, equate natin yan to force divided by the area. So, yung area natin, di ba, ito yung bolt. Ayan. Then, kapag shear, always parallel area to the force. So, kapag meron tayong P dyan, applied pa ganyan, di ba, ito yung shear force na madadevelop. Mag-a-act siya sa cross-section ng bolt. Parallel kasi yan. Parallel area sa V. So, this is simply number of bolts 2, then multiplied by pi over 4, multiplied by d squared. So, 20 mm, tapos naka-square. Ayan. So, n pa rin yan, n, then multiplied by the cross-sectional area. So, masosolve na natin yung P. Diba, yan na lang yung magiging unknown. So, 60 times 2 times pi over 4. Ano lang, just multiply this sa kabilang side times 20 squared. So, we would have 37699.11. Ayan. Now, since based on shear, ito yung safe na force, ito yung kaya ng system, ito dapat yung i-apply natin para sa bearing stress saka sa tensile stress. Kasi pag lalagpas ka dyan sa 37699, magfe-fail na siya in shear. So, essentially, yung P dyan, papalitan na lang natin ng 37699.11. So, erase na lang natin. Ayan. Palitan natin ng 37699.11. Again, we cannot apply a load larger than this, since yan yung allowable based on shear stress. Now, naka-Newton yan. So, masosolve natin yung thickness based on the bearing stress. So, 37699.11, then divided by 2 times 20 times thickness is equal to 120. Ayan. So, solving T, we would have 7.85 mm. However, hindi pa tayo sure if ito yung magagovern talaga. Since meron ding axial stress na working stress na binigay. 150 MPa. Now, para sa axial stress, same lang sa example natin sa shear stress. Di ba meron tayong example doon na merong dalawang bolts, dalawang layers, tapos kinat natin yung portion kung saan maraming bolts na dinaanan. Kasi yun yung magiging least area para sa tensile stress. So, kapag least area, dun kasi magiging malaki yung stress. So, therefore pala, when considering the axial stress, hindi lang yung plate mismo yung i-consider natin. Now, hindi ko pala nabigay, yung width ng plate is 110 mm. Ayan. Same lang sa previous example natin. So, kapag titingnan mo yung parang andito ka, tas tinitingnan mo yung plate pa ganyan, yung makikita mo lang is this portion of the plate. So, ito yung 110 mm. Ayan. Tapos, ito naman yung thickness. Diba? However, hindi yan yung tensile area na gagamitin natin para sa calculation. Bakit? Meron kasing portion dyan na may butas dahil nilagyan natin ng rivet. So, kailangan gagawa tayo ng cut. Ganyan. Cut natin siya. So, essentially, what would be revealed is meron ka ng butas dyan. Ayan. Now, kapag titinan mo in 3D, parang ganito. Same lang sa previous figure natin. Ayan. So, di ba, ibabawas natin yung butas. Yung area niya. So, isang bolt lang yung dinaanan. So, isang area lang yung ibabawas natin. So, if this is 110 in total, di ba, this is just equal to the diameter of the rivet. So, label natin as D, tapos ito naman, thickness. So, 110, yung effective width is 110, then minus D. So, our area for axial stress, dito na lang. This would be 110 times T, tapos babawasan natin ang area na to. So, this would be 150 MPa is equal to P. Yung force natin, still 37699.11 newtons. Then, divided by the area, our area is 110 effective width minus isang diameter or minus 20. Diba, this is 20 mm. Pero again, sa steel design, meron ka ng allowance dyan. Magpa plus 2 mm ka kasi para sa bolt hole. So, medyo iba yung analysis. But dito sa mechanics, let's just assume na yung diameter ng rivet, ito yan. Yan din yung sa bolt hole. So, 100 minus 20, then multiply by the thickness, which is still unknown. Ayan. So, based on axial stress, meron tayong bagong value na makukuha para sa thickness. So, 150 equals 37699.11. Pwede mong istoryan sa calculator. Then, divided by 110 minus 20 multiplied by the thickness. So, solving T, this would be 2.79. 2.79 mm. So, based on axial stress, it can carry the load with a thickness of only 2.79. Pero, yung bearing, kailangan 7.85. So, if you are to pick between the two, always choose the safer value. So, mas safe yung member if mas malaki yung thickness. Ayan. Kung 2.79 lang kasi, makakaya siya ng axial stress na limitation, but mag-fail na siya in bearing. So, ito yung sagot natin. Ayan.